blessing, it's the blessing, and just plain pressing me past my limits. Pictures and drafts, and so much trash. There's one thing I got to do. I'm fracking the whore, fracking the whore.
So typical.
There's still more crap in my eBay's store, 'cause I'm fracking the whore, fracking the whore from the death piling off floor.
Hello, everybody. Look, I'm doing my grindy groove in my chair here. It doesn't feel good or anything. It's just what I do. Yeah!
Hi, everyone.
And also, PokeCam. Bah, 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 bah.
Look at those
Oh,
toenails.
look who's over here coming to me. Mommy, why aren't you giving me my treats? I don't want them. I want Daddy. Daddy is better than all treats.
I think it's
Like, Mommy, I
hours.
recognize you. Slurpee, please. Thank you. Okay, we're here. We're here. Now what? What do we do? Lots of things to talk about today, I think. Lag, you did use the same asterisk. Stoic's here?
Yeah,
What?
Kevin.
Oh, no, I didn't do the thing. I got to do it. Hold on, everybody. Look at the Stoic on here. Vamp for a second. Vamp. Just vamp. Can you vamp?
No,
Vamp.
I'm not a vampire.
Yes, vamp.
I'm a vampire, and I'm a vampire.
Glamp.
I'm a vamper.
Glamp. Can you glamp? You can glamp.
Glamper.
Yeah, that's like nice camping. Okay, I think we got it, though. Here we go.
How cool is that? Aloha. Wait, we need some brump
Boom.
air
It
horns.
didn't work. There it is. Aloha!
You guys, how long has it been since we've seen Stoic Reseller in the chat?
So if Stoic is here, I'm just going to put out the...
I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me.
let's see if we can capture us a hay for us today. Maybe we're going to have good fishing out there. Aloha, everybody. We're not going to talk about anything. We're just going to read the thing so we don't have to be here forever today. Puppets, yes. James unleashed a tsunami of puppetry. Basically, we processed everything puppet-wise through ChatGPT. And I think this is like the best puppets we came up with right here. But it works so well.
Our puppets were looking a little wonky. They were like, yeah.
When you didn't know what to ask for, you asked for felted puppets or something. And I think it got caught in the cookies and then ruined like some of our puppet requests. But anyway, very happy with these. With the button nose.
Pokey is the cutest.
Pokey's a tiny little... He looks felted.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's our boy. Felt man. Aloha, everybody. Biff, we did not... I do know that song, I'm Your Puppet. It's a mellow. And just for like business purposes, I'm going to try to make money off my videos on YouTube and try not to steal music. Because every time I do, then they unsubscribe the money to us.
What would be interesting if we don't use any copyrighted music?
Will we actually make money on
to
YouTube?
See if we still get a flag from any of our sound effects, like ayo, ayo.
Oh yes, we could get those.
I wonder.
The applause, the air horn. I mean the applause
and the count. Yeah, we'll
the
see.
laughter.
We'll
Does
see what
anybody
happens.
remember laughter?
Faster, faster. It is so exciting.
The laughter. Those are all
Generic.
come with. But
Those
no,
are just
they're
like-
not. They actually licensed with our thing here.
Oh, with Road.
Road.
Oh,
They're licensed.
gotcha.
They can't get us for the applause.
Okay.
Everything else
okay.
that we're screwed. But anyway, I hope everybody's having a great week. Sales are actually pretty fantastic, I think, in general, all around. I can't see anything wrong. Let's do the wrong part of our show. Anything that you find wrong? Wrong!
You remember that SNL skit?
Yes.
No, I'm not really thinking. My brain. I'm too sidetracked with a whole bunch of other things.
So 3 weeks ago, she wipes the snow off the car, and
was
doesn't
not
realize
3 weeks ago.
How long ago was it?
It was
I want to be
last.
accurate.
Not
when you broke it, but when you actually wiped the snow off.
2 Saturdays ago.
2 Saturdays. We had snow on the ground yesterday. It's 37 degrees outside. So lame. But anyway, so she wipes the snow off, making the star go boink forward. And then I guess you straighten it out. And then the next day it was like broken like that. It was exactly what happened.
No.
It was like true story. Watch this. It went.
That's not how it all played out. But I don't care.
It's good enough though. Anyway, we ordered one. We did a lot of searching around for the internet, and we found one. But that's the broken one. But on the desk, I was just noticing how. Look at all these. See, all these are worth like $25 a piece.
Those are from Wheels?
Trunk lids. These are trunk lid. And the way you can, well, I mean, you can't really tell, but what's cool about, so right here, so right here, can you see that? It's kind of bent on purpose. So this goes.
It curves a little.
Yeah, so it goes flat. Isn't this entertaining? It goes flat against the trunk lid on like old 240 diesels. I forget what number body styles those were. But anyway, and then it curves a little tiny bit up the actual flat part of the trunk. Thank you. But that's not the fun part. The fun part's all these. So all the different, these things are all worth like, I don't know. Those things are worth about $25 a piece. These are worth like 40, 60.
What about the hook and loop?
What about the Hawk 2 loop?
What about the
that's from the
silver
eBay.
piece of...
That's from the eBay padded envelopes. 240D. This would be the car that this one would go on the trunk of.
Huh. Well, I guess I need to
diesel.
get all that crap photographed, huh?
You do. Look at this 250C. This one is a oddball or a more rare car. So this one's probably worth, I don't know.
By the way, these have
$80.
just been sitting on his desk forever.
Like weeks.
He was not planning on talking about these, but
another 240D. That's a diesel. See, 4.5. That's like kind of like a 1973 car, and then blah blah blah. 190. That's old. That's from like the 50s. That one. And then this one's 280 SE. Also a more expensive. That's not a word. But I'm going to use it nonetheless. Is there a good one in here? So I had one. There's a 190 SL. That's like a very expensive car. The 300 SL Mercedes, one of the most collectible cars around with the gull wings from the 50s. And then the 190 is just the convertible version of that. Less money. So the gull wing is like, I don't know, $3 million. And then the other ones are like $200,000 for just the convertible. But the badge alone is like $200. If this said 190 SL, $200, but it doesn't, so 60.
So I really want to talk about
Let's
this thing that we've been saying we were going to talk about, and then we just never do because
again, we're not reading the people's comments.
I know. So let's read some comments, and then let's get on our topic about us being eBay puppets.
People often misunderstand a buy it to get one free promotion. They think if they buy two, then one of those will be free. That's not what that even reads. It says buy two.
Did that happen? That must have happened, Biff.
Hold on. I'm trying to take this to
So
court.
were you running that promotion?
I'm taking this to court in my mind.
Buy
Hold on.
two.
Court is in session.
Okay. I've got to say,
Buy two.
with the way
and get one of those two free?
Yeah, with the way...
Because you're annoying. You got the broken brain syndrome. Thank you.
Of course, just from being experienced in retail and just...
Yes, right.
You know that you have to buy two to get one
Don't
free.
people have to try hard to misunderstand stuff?
However, if I were just reading that for the first time ever, I would go, wait a second, is it saying I need to buy two to get one or one of the two?
That's why you're annoying. That's all.
I'm very annoying.
That's all I'm going to say about that. Look, Holly Debs! You'll be in and out of chat. You have an appointment. I hope you have a wonderful appointment. I hope it's an appointment where they come into a room and wheel in a cart with tiny gold bars on them and give them to you. I hope it's not that. And if it's not, I hope it goes well. Lag reutilizing his star.
Thank
we
you,
watched
Kelly
Breaded
Debs.
Picker this morning. The Breaded Picker show, and you started off his show with a star. I feel a little bit like you could have used the number sign or something, hashtag, something different. @. Come on. Ryan, aloha to you. Aloha to Paul
Aloha,
Rose.
It is so exciting.
I count the spiders on the wall. Big Dre, aloha.
Hey, aloha, Big Dre.
James, I just fracked a horde from my large intestine.
Nice.
Good job, James. We like to support everybody in all their endeavors unless they're lame. But if they're cool, like pooping, then we're on your team. Aloha, Jen. Sorry, you had to be right after James's poop.
Jovial.
Jovial. Oh my goodness. Love, love, love the thumbnail. I want to play in the Linda Primo span and Pokey too.
Major win, Doug and Rowe.
Aloha.
Ayo, ayo.
Wait, I wanted to say something about Jovials. So go use, James did a whole, 4 days ago, he figured out how to do this. And then it's just been puppets ever since. That's all we've been doing.
Although
I think that's what he's been doing.
His puppets are not as fuzzy as ours.
I think it depends. It depends on how you do it and what you ask for exactly. But I did it exactly as he said, in the style of puppet. But then I've done it in the style of Muppet. Well, hold on. You go to ChatGPT, upload the picture, and then you have to go to the 3 dots. 3 dots says image. Make an image. Don't just type it right into ChatGPT.
Well, I didn't realize he had a video telling how to do it. And I was looking in the comments where someone was like, hey, what's the command? And I thought I saw
Amazon seller, aloha!
say Muppet me. So when I tried Muppet me, I don't know what the heck happened.
It didn't work. You got felted instead of Muppeted. But either way, it's fine. Going to rename James Helferstay the Puppet Master. Turned all my family into puppets. And they were freaking out. You know what's really cool now, though, is I also Simpsoned myself. I Hanna-Barbera'd myself. I did a whole bunch of different stuff, and it all kind of works.
Salvador Dali.
I Salvador Dali'd myself, but I thought it would do me like a picture. But it turned me into Salvador Dali and a mustache, and then one of my hairs was like...
in the style of Salvador Dali art.
Indeed. You have to be, it's smart, but you have to be
Axe
smarter.
Monkey, aloha! Major Win was saying hi to Stoic. It really has
awesome
been so
to have
long.
you here.
I love that he's here. It's been way too long. We missed so many of those people that we met in the beginning of our eBay YouTube journey.
I know, because we don't. There's no critical damage right now. I mean, so we've all kind of dealt with it.
We all united over.
So now we just sit here and and eat chocolate.
I think we're all just used to the bull crap now, so it's sort of leveled out. We're just all used to it and have adapted.
Not by choice, but we have adapted it. We have pivoted. We have something other words. Thank you. Awesome, Stoic. Sorry for your disappearance. Well, you should be, because we did send out search parties. Mounties. Because we didn't know if you're in Canada, if you crossed the border. Where did he go? We don't know.
I'm still out on the search party for Cinnamon and Will from Curious Collection.
Yeah. Speaking of that.
I'm worried. I'm very worried.
We did see that. You worry about things. You're a worrier. You're a worry wart, as they call them. We did see that Paige, 1 foot, the flip, is alive and well. And he posted, basically, I could read into the subtext of his comment. Don't worry, everybody. I'm fine, and I'll be back soon. I read, stop sending me emails. I'm fine, dummies. I'll be back. I just felt like that's what he was saying. He doesn't have to say the dummies part. But I feel like a lot of people send, we don't see our favorite YouTubers, we send some messages. Where are you? What's going on? We're your best friends. Don't you know that? And Will and Cinnamon have been absent. They did disappear.
For a while.
And I know Cinnamon had some...
she had pneumonia, which he, 3 weeks ago or so, I had commented on one of their videos just saying, hope you guys are okay. We miss you. And he said that she was recovering from pneumonia. But I haven't seen any videos, or I'm just, a little concerned. Callie Dowds was saying it sounds like it's going to be warming up. She's not looking forward to the hot weather out there in California. Laggy. I'm here now.
Hot weather. You weather. You better be nice. Lag is here. Can we agree on that?
Yes, lag.
Friends. How many of us have them? I used to have them on here. Oh, well. Okay, I'm voting for John.
Flipping ain't easy.
He's here if you would
Oh,
just
good.
keep on reading.
No, I'm not. I was just guessing he was here, and I was right. That's good. I have something in my eye, so I'm very distracted.
So Axe Monkey was saying, I've been messing with AI generated logos. Fun stuff. I've been saying please and thank you so the robots remember I was kind when they take over.
That's really an interesting comment because I struggled with that for a while myself. I'm like, I always politeness. I always put a pre-polite and a soft polite at the end of sentences. I don't know. I try to be really nice when I'm writing to people so they know my intention is kind and not combative or something.
Stoic was saying
And
sweet decals.
I have actually tried to, I've had like some really what's the word when you're like I just can't think. I've got something in my eye. When you're worried about your life,
going
it's
to
like
the
big as
ER?
big as life. It's like, do I say please to the robots? I think you answered it. You need to do that. Oh my gosh! Speaking of bangers, did you were you watching Kevin Stoic? No, not Kevin Stoic. Sorry, Kevin Stoic. I saw your name there again, right there. See, and then but Kevin Commonwealth Kevin, trying to stay on the same line. Segue smoothly right into Kevin talk.
Bring up
Commonwealth
Josh
Kevin,
Galt.
and he brought up Josh Galt in his show. He's like, my buddy Josh Galt. They're buddies. And basically, it was about Kevin saying, I totally diss my customers because they're annoying and I'm doing other things and I don't care about them. And then he said, he said something kind of like that. And I was like, oh, that's interesting because I answer every single question that comes through, but maybe I just don't have enough business. I guess we don't sell as many things, so I don't get as annoyed. I don't have kids who have ball games 100 miles away that I could get interrupted either. So I think that's fair. But he said his buddy Josh Galt pointed out on his video the other day about how being
Providing excellent customer service.
It's it, which is a cookie sandwich from San Francisco. But
Well, if you go to a brick and mortar store and an employee treats you like garbage, are you going to go back there? No.
You're gonna social media some garbage before you even leave the store.
If you walk in, so essentially what happened with Kevin is somebody walked into his little store and said, "Hey, does that thing do this?"
Yeah.
And he just walked away and never answered the customer.
He just walked away from the customer. And then what happened next?
And then the customer
said, "Hey, you're rude."
I'm going to complain about you.
And he reported him to eBay.
And then he just walked away even farther outside the door and went home.
He did the full Simpson into the bushes. So he said, maybe I should rethink this attitude of mine, and because of my buddy Josh Galt, I'm going to rethink this. So, I think that shows like how awesome the community is and how you can totally shame Commonwealth Kevin into being nice. There he is.
Flipping ain't easy.
John, I
Poo-poo
know
platter.
John. Have you ever
Poo-poo platter.
have you yes, we used to grab them and I did 3. As a kid, I stole 3 Mercedes symbols. And the way you did it was and I followed this one car around. I mean, so criminal, so gross. Like, I'm 16. I mean, I'm stupid. I'm barely even much smarter than that now. But you don't like my stories?
Go ahead.
Anyway, I followed
I'm
this.
putting an end to it after it, though.
Okay, I followed a 500 SEL around that had gold emblemage on the car. And I followed it into the Draggers parking lot in Los Altos. And this was the 3rd one I stole, the 3rd Mercedes symbol I stole. And I got there, the person went in, and this is like super creepy criminal, like when you actually plan it and follow a car, and then you stock it and case it out. Anyway, and I'll tell you what happened. I went to the emblem. It was gold, and I'm like, I have to have this gold one, shiny gold. And you yank them up, and when you yank them up, they're connected through a springy mechanism. At this point, did I own them? I didn't own a Mercedes yet. Anyway, so I pulled it up, and the thing cut my finger, and I just started squirting blood everywhere, and I died right there on the spot.
Like a Quentin Tarantino movie?
Yes, I died like a Quentin Tarantino movie. Just blood was squirting out my eyes. It was crazy, and I died there. So it was a bad move. I would never recommend doing that for anybody. Except John brought it up, and he's right. We did. So another time, on the second time I did it, I remember somebody saying, make sure you have a T-shirt or do it so you don't cut your hand. But I didn't listen. And so then when I got a Mercedes here, I've had a lot of them, and they're normally stored well in garages or something. But we had purchased one on eBay for $800, a 1972 beautiful mint green white leather interior. This was like Ava Gabor. It was beautiful.
With the little kitten ear headrest. It had the original stereo still in it. It was owned by an old lady. She had donated it to, I think it was Cash to Clunker's time or something. And we went down to Marlborough, Mass, and picked it up, and it was $800. So anyway, longer story short, it was parked at our house, and at some point during the night, this is before cameras, the kids came and stole my emblem, and I got full circle karma. I mean, after I died and when I ripped my hand open, I mean, that was bad enough. But now the emblem's the one that I broke off.
But so now she's got the bad karma.
Those now,
how many years?
Those now, they have something that it's like anti-theft. And ours, I think it just wore out or whatever, and the thing snapped.
The actual hole that holds it on.
But anywho,
wasn't that a great story though?
Yes.
Thank you.
I want to get to that video that we want to discuss about the gamification.
Know,
and are we eBay puppets?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Okay. Story told.
Hey, Steve Ash, aloha
to you.
So nice to see you.
Everybody's saying
Absolute
hi.
Fines, aloha, Jen. We said hi to Jen, right?
I think so, but let's do it again just in case. Hi, Jen. Callie Dabs is in for the gold bar. Should they reel them in? I'll take 2 of those. I'll take 3 of them. Den Decor, better late than never. Aloha
hey,
to you. I saw you in the live over I was bouncing around this morning a lot of different places, and I saw you in the CD Galaxy CD Rocks and Flips.
Lag gets around.
Live chat. Absolute Fines. Aloha. Yes, assign that the Maswilda swig. I'm not sure what that's called. Hi, Doug. Everybody.
Oh, Doug
saying
will have
hi.
a meeting quickly.
It's probably over by now.
Hey, Beard.
What about Charles Schultz? Yeah, I didn't do that. Put that down on the list.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
I'll try to remember it.
Shoot. Hold on, I gotta do that right now. You can talk about the thing. So in our description, and we've talked about it for 3 weeks now and not really talked about it, about the gamification of eBay. And the thing is, long story short, is they definitely are doing that. They're doing the gamification, which accounts for your alligator teeth, where you sell a lot and they don't sell a lot. It's a 5-minute video. Go check it out. It's just, it makes a lot of sense that is part of why eBay seems unnatural, because it is now manipulated. And yes, you are throttled, and yes, you are boosted, but not necessarily because of your, I mean, this is now I'm adding my stuff into it. Not necessarily because of like your promoted listing. I think eBay still operates on the rarer the item and the better the price, the more your sell-through rate's going to be. No? No?
Yeah. Just keep going. Do what you're doing.
No. No? Pokey. Was that you?
Don't.
Was Pokey? Did he just go? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. ChatGPT. Did you tell him about ChatGPT TARS, or did we already tell him that last week? I think we did. ChatGPT. I'm not gonna show it to them because
I don't know what
it'll
you're
take
doing.
So long. Beard hit another water buffalo. Isn't that like the third one this year? I got a towel. Sweetie, can you go get him a towel? He might need 2 towels. I just copied one of Curious Collections listings yesterday.
I've got to say, their eBay store is very nice. I really like it a lot. And they don't white out the backgrounds. They used, like for the jewelry, they have sort of this very light gray background that it looks like it's actually a backdrop. And it looks very nice.
Does a start to this? Well, I think... So what did I do today? I watched the beginning of the Island Boys podcast, or the Resale Island, or the Reseller Island podcast with the Island Boys. And there was 4 of them. Grams and Pops Vintage, Shane, Soda City Flips, the other guy, sells sports cards, and young J-Ride Flips. And Shane's been having some problems on the on reselling in general, and he said something to me that was very interesting, and it got me thinking. It just got me thinking. And he was like, "Nothing's selling this week." And I've heard other people say that this week seems weird, or it's just not taking off or something, and that might be the case. But Shane said that to instigate or to get sales flowing, he decided to put on a 10% promoted listing, dynamic promoted listing with a 10% cap. And he said he just watched his sales go lower and lower. And then he said, I made 200 this day, and 196, and then 150, and then 90, then 60, then 90. I think I'm actually kind of close to his daily numbers that he was watching. And the first thing I thought to myself was, it's really interesting that he watches his numbers that granularly, that he watches his numbers like that. And I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying that he's maybe tripping because he's watching his numbers too close, maybe.
Right. Well, now that he's doing reselling full time, which he did a video talking about how he is doing like the Uber Eats or something.
Yes, he's filling in with that
to supplement his income. But I think, it can be stressful doing eBay full time. And you do watch your numbers, definitely. Like for someone that's going from doing it part-time to full-time, I can understand. But that we stopped watching those numbers because it was driving us crazy. But
if I could make a suggestion, don't look at your numbers daily.
Because it's looking at them as doing nothing.
Except for bumming you out. Like it can really, we've definitely learned that eBay is such a part of our lives.
What's going to happen is going to happen.
And if it goes bad, you're going to feel bad. So try not to feel bad about it as much as possible.
Which is part of that gamification thing, is that this video is saying, which we keep touching on this video, and again, you should go watch it.
It's out to manipulate your emotions. eBay.
It's out to manipulate your emotions.
Both good and bad.
Yeah. So like you get on this high, like, oh my God, everything's great. And then all of a sudden your sales stops. So then you're like, oh my God, I got to go list more things. Then you list a whole bunch of things. Then you get on the high again. And then.
And I also think that Shane was saying that putting on the 10% dynamic from a lower amount, his sales just kept going down. And what that would say to me personally is there's something about the inventory that he has right now, excuse me, that not even promoting it more will boost it. But at the same time, the items, it's possible that the items are undesirable enough to where when he put on promoting on these, it did show it to way more people, and even less people looked at them, thereby dragging down his STR, his sell-through rate, lowering, even by increasing his PL, it lowered his sales.
So you know what my brain just was thinking, which is crazy. It's just like this crazy idea, is that he decides to promote. Was he promoting at all?
That's your brain.
That's my brain. It is my brain. My brain does make me go, oh my God, what is happening? So if he wasn't promoting and then decided to try promoting, what if promoting eBay has a hard time being fair to everyone that's promoting, and so then your item can get pushed away while it's trying to show someone else's item that is promoted. And if you're not promoting, well, your item will just show up anyway somewhere in the list.
My Biff. Biff's the other part of my brain, so he tells me stuff. But yeah, no, I'm sure that does come into account. So there's so many things I just can't connect all the little streams that I had.
And that's why we don't even try not to think about that crap anymore, because literally we sound crazy right now.
Yeah.
And
that's because we are. But
it sounds like we're going crazy.
But I'm saying that our sales are steady, and as long as we maintain the price is good, the item is wanted, we're listing items, and then we're fine. And that's like the most annoying, easy, predictable thing.
But Josh says, you do what's in your control.
Mm-hmm.
Like on whose show was it? Was it Beard Show, or yesterday on Silver Hair Stacker, Queen City Picker? It was like, what do you suggest? People are complaining about sales being low. What's the one thing that you would say? And Silver Hair was like, well, I just, keep on listing. And I agree with that. List.
If in doubt, list it out.
And then I think on Bearded Show today, they were talking about something, promoted listings. And I feel that if you aren't doing promoted listings, then you should be running a store sale. That's right. That's what he was saying, because you said that you are doing 30% off. I feel you should be doing at least one or the other.
Yeah, and he was asking what exactly on the sales. And if your sales are slow, I would start big. Go big. And this kind of goes into the green wave theory. This goes into what I call the sales siphon theory, meaning like you put out 30%, you start selling some stuff, you can take off the sale. You can do a lot of different things, but start off your sales siphon with the 30% off sale. Sell a couple dozen items, get your flow going, and then start maybe lower to 25, lower to 20, take it off, lower your prices, send people offers, whatever. But if you're really in a bummer, relist all your items, nuclear reset, try a sale, and then sell similar, and then a sale for 30%, and then back it off, because you know what? Because I don't know how much 30% is going to cut you out. Do not raise your prices 30%, then to mark them down 30%. They need to actually be a good deal to sell, and that was from Beard Show that we were talking about. But I also want to say another point about this guy's gamification thing is this is also an explanation for why someone such as J-Ride, for instance, was able to figure out how to game eBay with the massagers, I'm not even joking, with the massagers, with the remotes, with the golf clubs, with all these things that were sell-through rate. So he was able to figure out this. I mean, I don't, I'm not looking at his entire body of work, and I'm not even talking just solely about him. I'm talking about every person who went, just get good items. Well, I understand what they were doing. They were gaming the system. The problem is those items will then disappear. Now, where are you? So if you only know how to sell 20 items and that's what you go look for, then you're not really a reseller. You're just following an example, which could work for a while and then disappears. But our young J-Ride is a sort of a business guy. And he's good at figuring out how to make this kind of move. And another person I want to talk about, because we're just tangenting like maniacs here, is I actually have a new profound. Who's the guy from that Josh was on his show? Not most recently.
The guy that had the fire?
No, he sells clothing, and he's now on Whatnot. And he's on
JP Morgan.
Yeah, JP Morgan. He's on Whatnot like 6 days a week, and he doesn't Sunday because he's a Sunday guy. He observes the Sunday and
JD and
he's gonna hire somebody to work for him on Sunday who doesn't
they
do
are
Sundays.
always on. I always have YouTube because they they simultaneously like
Yes.
do YouTube,
Yeah.
but I see the
pretty
videos
cool.
posted after the fact.
It's clothing, and it doesn't appeal to me, but he's got it. He's like a younger, getting started Chris from Daily Refinement, who is, I mean, bringing in millions of dollars a year, and it's amazing. It's impressive.
He's busting his butt off.
I don't want to do that because I am old and slow, and I don't want to hurt myself that much. But it's highly impressive, and it gives me the sense that the ceiling isn't right above me. The ceiling is way up there. I'm never gonna get there because I'm not gonna try that hard.
And that's why when I feel that we have slower sales, things seem a little off, is because we are not reaching as high as we can. And for sure, when we have a listing slowdown, we have a sales slowdown. And we definitely do not
Without fail.
But when we are listing regularly, we are not listing every day. We will do a huge batch. So it will take 2 to 3 days to get photos, drafts, him going through everything, looking up pricing, 2 to 3 days. And then
3 months off.
And then and
Not
that
even
lasts
close,
us,
bud.
the high from listing that a bunch of them will last us about a week. But if we slow down, though, then we
Slowing
start
down slows
seeing
down.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
slow down with our listing, then we start seeing that in the sales. But
So
so we're not
don't
doing it
ever
every
slow
day, but we need to do one big listing of items at least once a week.
Yes.
And that
that's-
carries us.
Or it will tickle your stuff will stop selling.
And that carries us to the next week. So
Paul is lucky
It is so
he
exciting.
didn't go out with his friend because he could have been part of this Michigas here. He could have had it could have been him with the ribs. So now his friend's got to heal before they go out and
good
tear it up.
heavens.
So hopefully your friend will be mellowed out and won't want to hurt any ribs so that you won't be on the side of a building in your cowboy boots. Mel, back from burnout, went to a public prolific posting to absent for a while now. Yeah, she came back, redesigned her whole thing, and then said that it was too much again. And I mean, obviously she is. She's YouTube.
what is
Work.
Mel back from burnout?
She's Australian, blonde lady from Australia. And in fact, she used to be one of the main dudes in tech and sports.
Yeah,
thing.
well, Stoic is saying she is still on Tech's Patreon group.
Oh, okay. So she's a business lady. So she's businessing. YouTube for, because this is it is a lot. Not really for us as much as it should be. We should try harder. But I think that if we did, we would be distracting from our actual work, which is making money on eBay. I do think we could just turn on a camera and take pictures of ourselves while we're doing our work at some point. But
I mean, I think I have ADD. You have ADHD.
yeah,
So
I got the H. Come on, let's go.
one thing can really throw us for a loop. And still trying to work
She's
on
a no girl, and I'm a yes man.
trying to work
It's like,
on
hey, you want to go do something? She's like, nah.
on his father's
could get run
stuff
over.
has really sort of, I don't know, side
Update? You want a news
side
update?
direct.
It's not really a news update, but all of February was dealing with my father passing out of nowhere and not really knowing and like having to deal with it, and we did it. And then this whole month has been can't really
Just
afford a
finding
lawyer.
one incredibly awful thing out after another.
Can't afford a $10,000 lawyer for a will contest, so we're doing it ourselves, which is the dumbest thing ever. But
Wish us luck.
I mean, yeah, please wish us luck. But can't afford a lawyer because it's thousands. It's at least $10,000 to do a proper will contest. We don't really have that. His estate's not really worth a lot. It's just his caretaker was an evil, usury person who stole and
Don't say too much, please.
EBBB. Is that too much?
Anyhow,
Bad person.
so it's easy.
Dad.
We are easily Distracted.
These have been some pretty wicked 2 months.
We're easily
Super
distracted.
annoying.
But anyhow,
I think I've eaten a lot these past 2 months.
Lag has always been a robot.
Yes. Basement lady robot.
So make sure that you are very nice to Axe Monkey because says please and thank you.
Yes.
So in the future, when you decide to take over the world,
That's right. Lag's
be
the
nice to
leader.
us, Lag.
Does your Costco have its minis? No. They came up one time, Biff, like at the pandemic. They came in, and we had them once.
What are its?
They're the cookie with the ice cream, but they're not some of these crappy imitation ones. They're like a harder cookie, and then you dip the whole thing in chocolate.
Huh.
So you got the cookie.
I don't know what that is.
And the cookies are like, if I recall right, it's been so long since I've had them. They're kind of like not a snickerdoodle, but they're not like a soft cookie. They're more of a harder cookie. And I remember as a kid, sometimes because it's warm in California, you bite into it and the whole like ice cream just goes bleep, flies right out of there.
So Stoic is saying, speaking of customers, the amount of customers who don't read or view before messaging is a bit outrageous.
That seems to be super popular in the clothing industry.
Oh.
I'm hearing that from clothing sellers a lot.
And Kevin, I know you've
Which
been
one?
away for
Oh,
a
this
while.
guy.
Yeah. So Major Win, Duggan Road, they have a virtual assistant now.
VA.
And
They're
they,
badass.
They are clothing sellers, and they are on fire. They cannot keep up with listing.
They roll in with the
Like,
pimp walk. They got their VAs.
They are having
6 VAs behind
a
them.
lot of success.
I mean,
and
they're virtual.
I'm guessing it has a lot to do with they are now getting so much more up that eBay just keeps feeding them customers. Oh my goodness!
What?
Motorcycle Talk is here! Aloha! Another OG!
I know. I love the OGs when they stop by. When you grace us with yourselves. I wish you were here all the time. But, you can't be. But you should really try. And you should put it on the screen in the dealership.
Remember, right, I was going to say, he's well, not 9 to 5 in it, but he has another job now.
I can honestly say I've never blocked anybody for being annoying. I've blocked them for being causing me money, mostly, I think, right? I block people who return stuff, who I don't really have a criteria. I don't have a rule book. Maybe if I want to feel powerful, I'm like smite some people. I'm like block. I'll just go through eBay sometimes, and I'm like feeling really kind of low, and I just smite some people. I just look for any usernames anywhere on eBay, add them to my block list. I don't even know you. You're blocked.
Your
You're
username
blocked.
is
You're blocked.
weird.
You're blocked. Yes. Makes me feel good.
Did you see Ryan was saying how he hates it when people are like, please ship ASAP? It's like, yes.
It's like, that's my job. Well, you can't blame the people for eBay not keeping good sellers. I mean, the people are used to what they're used to. And I was thinking that the other day when you have a problem with buyers, and you can't. There's no you can't make somebody go through a class to buy. You most certainly can make people go through a class to sell, and in so doing, create less bad buyers by not giving out bad buyer experiences. So that would be a good
speaking
thing.
of that, going back to Kevin Commonwealth,
I still don't have bumpers on my stupid glasses.
His video, he was saying about how he ignored the customer that was asking
about these.
How he ignored the customer that was asking a question,
yeah.
and then he thought about Josh.
Yeah.
Well, he was saying how he thought about how what he did is giving other sellers it's just giving sellers a bad name. Mm-hmm. And he realized that, although he never went back to the customer though, but he was saying how he realized what he did really was wrong in so many ways.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not, I don't know. I just don't think that it's, if somebody's going to ask it, but we have been asked 10 questions in a row that just seem dumb. We've had somebody watching an item for a month that every week sends 3 questions about it.
What is
and
that?
we've sold those things. The 3 questions a week for like 4 weeks was somebody kept asking about Mercedes taillight lenses. If they were real, where's the part number? Then they were like, flip it over, show me the end. Like, it was just like this constant thing. And I walked through it like I was walking over hot coals. Like, this is what makes me a stronger reseller. This is my comeuppance or whatever.
Did they end up buying them?
Yeah, they ended up buying them. It $103 for maybe $1,000 worth of customer service. However, we got positive feedback.
But it's their job.
It's our job, man. The recent broken hood ornament accounts for the 3rd emblem you stole. You are even now. Thank you.
Thank you, Biff.
Thank you, Biff. And I mean, I'm a firm believer in karma. I really am a believer in karma, which is if that's your only principle that you follow, it's a pretty good one. I mean, it's essentially the golden rule: do unto others. I mean, it's like karma. If I punch you in the eyeball, my eyeball will just magically pop out. It could happen. Motorcycle dork.
I know, I love it.
Jovial says, back in the 80s, I was fascinated by the wipers on headlights. After thinking about it, I was like, how dumb is that? Lost a little respect for Benz after all that. No, it's not for rain. It's for snow, actually. So those wipers, which are on the 500 SELs and a couple other different ones, they're the coolest thing in the world. I mean, back in the 80s, you wanted them so bad. You're like, because you would see like little kits on like VW Bugs and stuff. But it was for snow, technically. And they are cool, but you have to live in a snowy condition. Otherwise, you're just in California with wipers on your headlights, which is dumb. Thank you.
Paul was asking, Motorcycle Dork, how are those
sales doing?
So Biff is saying followers is the only way to hack the alligator tooth pattern. Is there any other way, or just sell J-Ride vibes? Is that the other way?
It is the sell-through rate is the way they want. So yeah, it is.
I want to add,
and he's gaming it. Sorry, he's gaming it to his benefit, and we're on the other side of it going, we're being gamed. So he knows what's happening and feeding it appropriately and doing it with very specific targeted items while we're selling everything else that we sell. So that's my belief anyway.
So on Monday we were talking about how Axe Monkey said how she replies to the positive feedback that she gets on eBay.
Yes.
And how she has seen her followers go up.
It's so extra. It's so extra.
So, but also I want to add.
I like it.
I want to add because we were talking about
Sweetie,
hey, do they still do like newsletters and stuff? Well, I was listening to Queen City Picker. I'm sorry, Queen City Picker in Silverhair.
It was a lady.
They alternate shows, and they had Julie on. I think her name is Julie. And she said that she sends out newsletters. So yeah, you can do newsletters still.
And she gets a lot of her customer base from that.
But she's a very niched. She's very niched. And Silverhair was saying, well, I feel like you sort of need to be niched out to like do newsletters. But she was saying that she does it and it works really well. And because she does quantities, so she has suppliers, and so she has multiple quantities of items.
But
so it works well for that.
Humongous niche. Like antiques is a humongous niche.
But
you only need to be niched much.
Right, but again, she gets multiple quantities of the same item. So when you send out a newsletter that can work well.
Yes.
Because some people, by the time they get the newsletter, the item might be gone, if it's only a one-off. But anyhow, so you can do newsletters.
You can. We verified. Thank you.
Yeah. I was like, that's such a coincidence that she
We
was
knew
talking about
today,
that
huh?
when we were wondering the stuff we learned from each other's shows.
Major Win has again
Do, do,
chosen
do,
his
do.
he's chosen his job over us. Can we get one of those
How
popping noises?
dare you?
Is that what you want?
I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
No, this
How
one.
dare you?
And then I wanted the more you know.
Yeah, we should make that easier to find because it seems like it's a really important one.
Mike is saying his sales are unbelievable.
Unbelievably
Oh, not. Sorry. The arrow icon was blocking that part. I was wondering if...
Den Decor is tempting us to change our meal selection for this evening. Got Chinese for lunch today from the place in town. They're good people. They said they've had 2 dead weeks here, but my fortune cookie said diligence is the mother of good fortune. Do not look at your daily sales. Just keep troopering on.
So
Stoic has so Stoic is in a very Stoic is clothing sellers. If I was to describe it more, I don't know if I could describe it more aptly, but I think he's in the Pacific Northwest, so he's selling
outdoorsy
gear.
activity stuff.
Yeah, like active wear or whatever you call
Didn't
it.
he used to focus on like U.S. made or no, not really. I thought like
I don't know
his
if he
stuff
focused
is like
on it, but
yeah.
I think there's a lot of manufacturers up there.
I think he sells a lot of stuff that people that do outdoor activities would wear, like hiking and
I mean, this would be
hiking.
So when I saw Stoic sales like a million years ago now, I was always impressed with his not his stuff didn't waver too much.
Right. It was pretty steady.
He had a very steady sales and he was
charts were
able to
like-
keep it there and just like, the plane could take off and stay aloft and he could keep it sort of up in like a reasonable, normal, no alligator teeth for the most part. And so I think that he's in one of those niches that you can do that. I just don't, it's not the same for everybody else. Unless you pepper. You got to pepper.
So Axe Monkey is saying
What's pepper mean?
here and there,
Yeah,
sprinkle.
sprinkle.
So
Other stuff.
Axe Monkey is saying my sales are unbelievable too. Went from 200 a day to 4. Thinking of turning off promotions and restarting them. Not sure if that will help. I have something to say. Not sure if that will help or not. And I want to say I saw a post in one of my groups and it was pretty much what you were saying. And now I'm thinking, what if sales are just like how we all realized that End and Sell Similar was helpful? What if Axe Monkey is on the right train of thought here, where with End and Sell Similar, it's refreshing, system thinks that our things are new.
No, Auction Professor said 2 years ago.
With promotions,
Everything. Move your stuff.
it dulls out with promotions too.
if
You
it
have
stops,
to stop them and
yes.
then start them again maybe a few days later.
Yes, give it a few days and see if you. We stopped a sale. Promotions we've kept on. We stopped a sale on our store of 25% and sales went up. And for the past week, we're getting our normal number of sales for 25% more money.
And then that's going to, and then we're going to see that peter out, and then we'll put the sale back up. So,
and if you are really, if you're really on it, I mean, change your promoted list. I don't know, because this is where I'm just like making stuff up. But the more things you change, the more different maybe it is. So I would just keep changing everything, except change the price a little bit, and it's all similar.
So this one that I was reading, the woman was like, "Oh, I had like a 15% promoted rate, and my sales were crazy, and then all of a sudden they just started dying." And so she said, "I stopped doing the promoted and threw on a store sale, and she said my sales were even better."
You got to just keep it moving, like data on
Keep
hard
changing,
drives.
like
Keep
on
moving
a rotate on a cycle.
Rotate.
1 week do promoted.
True story.
The next week do a store sale.
And
1 week do promoted. Do
When we
your end
very
and sell
first
similar.
looked on eBay for actual
Wax
answers.
on, a wax off.
Yeah, we looked for, and Auction Professor was the first person to come on, and this is what he said. We could have probably potentially just watched his one show, and that's all the information we needed to get back to eBay and just, hunker down, do the work, switch things up, list. You don't need to list every day, but list consistently, get good items, buy right, like every conceivable thing. He said it in like one video, like the first one that we ever watched. Thank you.
And also,
we can't give Mike G. We're going to have to take away his numbers. He's saying he has a problem.
So Beard was talking about, because what's that podcast with ADH Dave and Carrie and blah blah blah, the cash to
trash to cash.
Trash to, hey Mike Seller, thanks. Trash to cash. How they were sort of poking fun at John's idea of the geolocation thing, how eBay.
Well, he's not totally serious about it,
but so this is what I'm wondering. And then like a couple of the guys were like,
Steve guy
actually,
was like, how would
you
you do that?
A couple of the guys were like, actually, it could maybe be true. Yeah, okay. So then they started talking themselves into.
It's your location services. You've got
started talking themselves into agreeing with John, and then Beard mentioned it this morning on his show, and one of his guests was like, no, I don't think that happens. But this is what I'm wondering, okay? So you know how a long time ago, when we were struggling and trying to figure out what the hell was happening with eBay, how one of the things brought up was that eBay likes to see activity on your account, whether you're liking things to, on other people's sellers, whether you're creating drafts, whether you're listing. Any activity. And when you're on vacation, you're not sitting there being as active on your account.
But if you had somebody at home doing that, would there be a difference? That's the question you have to answer.
And I'm wondering.
And that seems pretty easy to do.
And I'm wondering if maybe could that be what it is? I mean, that seems
leave
a
your
little
phone at home.
Far-fetched.
Get a burner. Get 3 burners, 1 phone. Rent a new car. Drive it 2 states away. Get another one. Buy a tow truck, etc.
But the guest that Beard had on was like, I'll go away for 2-3 weeks and I'm getting tons and tons and tons of sales still.
Again, the one thing that's never in the equation when we talk like this is, what the hell are you selling?
I know.
So that it's like night and day. It's so different. Everybody's different. So you can't even use that. So to say my sales are great and yours are bad, there's probably no correlation. I mean, who knows? And this is a good point too, B-Nudes, is that you have, which I always thought about Kevin too, the way he was building his business. He's like a super like purpose-driven kind of a thing. And picking clothing is a smart, if you can tolerate it, if you can deal with clothes. Kevin. Yes, sorry.
Well,
clothing and Doug and Rowe, yes. It's recession proof.
Yeah.
Because people need clothes, and the more the money fades, the more used clothes. That's number one. Shoes, clothes, not like the most expensive stuff, but just real good core stuff. And what else? What else is there that's gonna, like, people? If people don't have money, they're gonna stop buying cheap collectibles. I believe that as usual, if there's a recession-y thing or anytime there's some sort of a money problem, I sell more expensive collectible stuff like computers, things
so
that
then
actually
maybe
have a collectible value.
So people are buying necessities, and then maybe things that retain value or go up in value.
Rich people got so much money they don't know what to do with it, and they're not going to put it in there, so they put it into art, collectibles, antiques, things, good baseball cards, good comic books, although I think that kind of, the tech bros kind of broke it all, all that stuff. But, the prices have come down on them, is my point. But when you're looking at furniture, like Eames furniture or some of the designers from the Danish stuff, that stuff doesn't go down in price. The generic stuff goes down in price, but not the designer stuff, like the top of the line collectible stuff. And I think that's across the board. So when you have problems with the economy, the wealthy people look for other ways to put their money in less volatile places. And usually they want to spend their money. I mean, people, when they have it, they're looking for somewhere to put it.
So Biff was saying at this point, when I see the gator tooth, I know the spike is coming in a day or two. It's a 5-day slide typically.
Mm-hmm. And I know what you sell in your stuff often is similar. Auction Professor was talking about that today too, saying they're ephemera is quite a thing right now. Like the prices have escalated so significantly. And he was talking today. Here's the worst in tangents. We should put this in chapters, just unrelated chapters. But he was talking today about ephemera, these postcards, these things with Abraham Lincoln, old stuff, antique crap, and how people are taking things that forever have been $13 and they're having them graded, and they're graded at 1.2s and stuff, like low, and they're worth $100 now.
Because they were graded?
Because like the
Who
old,
grades ephemera?
like stereo view cards and stuff. I don't know if Josh is like part to do, or if I don't know if he created this whole wave maybe, or if he really had that insight that this value added thing was actually going to create or add to an industry. Because as we get older, these like old things that are 150-year-old pieces of paper they just like vaporize into dust. But if you put them in a slab, then they have value and people can buy and trade and sell them. And that kind of stuff might be moving in that direction. I don't know.
Yeah. Howdy Loha, silver hair. Money talks. So, Den Decor was saying to Mike, same twice the inventory, but still lower sales per day. B Nudes, there's a prediction that retailers are going to have to get far, far, far more aggressive in ratios to profits if things continue as they are.
Oh, and they are going to continue as they are.
So it's going to be a volume game.
Let me check. I'm going to look and see if it's greens or reds. It's Christmas all over the stock market. Ooh, greens. What the holy heck?
Holy moly, that's gone up a ton.
In 1 hour since we've been on here, it went from like the Dow was plus 200. It's at plus 2,500 right now.
I wonder if there was some sort of news that came out.
Do you think people are drinking their own Kool-Aid? I mean, what's happening here? $2,500 is a huge change.
S&P is up 402.
NASDAQ is up $1,500. Josh, did you invest? Did you put your money back in the market? That's 10%. And we'll see what happens by the end of the day. But that's a huge intraday spike. I mean, huge. That might even be record setting. I don't even know.
Stoic was saying that algorithm favors click-through and conversion rate. If promoting your items correlate to a lower conversion rate, then your items will be buried.
And I think that's what happened to Shane. I think that most of his top-tier items sold, and then he was left with kind of like the not as top-tier items, whatever that happens to be. And then he promoted them, and that actually made them sink even farther down the list.
Which is
possible.
Which is why maybe having a sale in your store is better than promoting your store. But like we were saying, or just rotating it.
Yeah, move around your promotions and all your stuff.
Alternate weeks.
Traffic was so low yesterday. Now we don't look at the numbers, so I don't know if traffic was low yesterday, but that could be another reason we didn't have any sales. What if nobody went to eBay yesterday? They had an eBay, no day, eBay.
Like, my brain was thinking the Earth is traveling 67,000 miles per hour through
What?
space as I eat this donut.
Do you know? Is it? How do we know how fast it's moving? Is there a gauge?
Swamp Picker, aloha. Nice to see you.
Aloha. Dendicor says, yep, who fires the first shot or who blinks first? My bet is Walmart. Oh, on a competition. Swamp Picker, hey Todd.
On the prediction that retailers are going to have to get far more aggressive.
They are. And you may need to too. Prices are your aggression metric. So lower your prices, get more sales. I don't think that doesn't work on eBay. So lower your prices versus raising your promoted listing. I don't know. I wish I knew everyone's stuff.
You know what I was reading is Goodwill had two websites, and they got rid of the one where it was like the special items.
Medium will. Yeah. Oh, they got rid of their of the boutique one, or they kept the boutique one. Oh,
no, I think they got rid of that one. I think.
Oh.
And people were like, yeah, because I think they're moving to Whatnot.
Well, let's face it, the site is an S show these days.
Because I don't know, my brain was just thinking about retailers lowering prices, and then I was like, oh, people complain about Goodwill being so outrageous with their prices sometimes. And I'm like, I wonder if they'll lower theirs too. And
I know, Paul. That all you can do is your best, but a lot of it's luck too. Unfortunately, I'm not sure it's so much luck. I mean, you can, if it is luck, you can change, you can affect your luck for sure by doing a lot of different things. But I think that the second part of your look at them moving it around. The second part of your comment is exactly right. Don't waste too much time trying to figure it out. That's why I think it's just really fun when something hits me as like, oh, that could be a reason. Just putting it out there in case people are wondering, why do the alligator teeth happen? Well, here is a pretty good explanation of them gaming you, and why wouldn't they do that?
Oh, James said Trump paused some tariffs for 90 days, so that might be
Oh
why.
my gosh.
That might be why the stock market went up.
That is why the stock market went up.
Thanks, James.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Isn't
so there's
that
your
crazy?
answer.
Wow.
One man shouldn't have that much power over a stock market. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say that in general. The only political thing I'll ever say. Thank you. However, jury's still out to see what happens in the end, because I could be way more mad or super happy.
Biff was saying, I have good CTR and STR for my category, but promoting by definition will hurt your CTR, but not necessarily your STR. What is CTR? Conversion?
Click-through rate versus sell-through rate. But promoting by definition will hurt your click-through rate. Exactly. Yeah. However, that click-through rate, okay, I mean, I guess I don't know for sure if it does do that, because I don't innately understand this crap. I do not innately understand sell-through rate or click-through rate. I have to look at it, put it on a spreadsheet, like, to really understand it. Natively understand about buying something cheap and selling it to people who I know want it somewhere else in the world, but not around here, for way more money than I bought it for. That's what I really know. Thank you.
B Nudes was saying,
but I like business, and I want to know how this crap works. But I actually don't like business so much that I'd ever be like Grumpy John from Bread Show, where because he is grumpy and he just sits in a trailer and then he goes on cruises half the year. I don't want that. I want this, whatever this is that I got going on here.
So B Nudes was also in regards to the retailers having to start slashing prices.
He makes
or whatever.
a lot of money, though.
He's saying that, yes, and likely Amazon too, but Amazon is also cleaning house of a lot of the third-party sellers, which I think, did Beard mention something about that too?
Yeah, that they're trying to get rid of the independent sellers.
Mm-hmm. And just make deals with the manufacturers themselves. Or they sell this, right, they sell the stuff instead of third-party sellers. Dendacor was saying, I think Amazon has enough of a margin to play with. Walmart doesn't. B Nudes, eBay used to have featured listings way back, and the problem is eventually they are zero based. Everyone promotes, so nobody promotes. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I only promote my chud, and I let my one of one speak for themselves.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you are in a category, or if you have something that is not saturated, then
we have one store where there's no promotions at all. So anything that we want to not promote goes in that store, and that stuff has to be cool and something that sells in a week.
And Stoic was saying, I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah.
But the algorithm is programmed. With being nudes, I'm not disagreeing. But the algorithm is programmed a certain way with specific key metrics favored more. Look at James; he promoted heavily and didn't see any gains.
That's why I'm also not into the quantity. I'm into velocity of sales, but not into low price quantity, because I don't understand how that works either. And that, again, that's what I think that's what Grumpy John does. I mean, like, I don't do that because I can't keep up with it in my brain.
The eBay search algorithms are category based on a variety of criteria. Cassini, the search engine, is not one search algorithm. It's many, just like Google.
Cassini, Busini, Steve Buscemi, Angel Flight.
Like
Junior.
Mom makes Sundays every Friday night.
Wow, that's why you're so confused. That's why you're so confused, lag.
Oh.
It's your 2 days off and backwards. I think you're right, B-Nudes, because I saw in a slow category my conversion metrics are top 20 in a sea of 40,000. Yeah, and part of it is, part of conversion rate is price, but you have to see. I don't even know what I'm saying. It's like blah blah blah. I get so.
I just reread what B Nude said to understand what Biff said, and now I'm understanding that. Okay, Mike Seller, aloha, aloha, fellow puppets. Greetings from South Dakota. And I saw down a little farther down below, you did a super chat for
thank
Pokey.
you so much.
Thank
the
you.
puppet master. He most certainly is.
You're so sweet, Mike.
Thank you very much. He totally appreciates that, don't you?
Yeah, he's a tiny dog. Biff was saying my slow movers can only be compared within a niche, or my entire shop would have been buried years ago. Yeah.
Question is your niche going to get a little hotter? Is your niche going to get hotter in the next few years because of just reality? I don't know.
It's funny because our favorite secondhand store, they do have collections of postcards and stuff, and they're always so expensive, though. I'm like, why? What?
There was a time I went in and I just bought all Hawaii postcards, and I just bought Hawaii. So we have like I don't know, hundreds of them.
Oh, I do.
I don't know where they are or if they're worth anything, but we're not. I never wanted to position myself as a postcard collector because there's a dozen of them around here. There's a dozen postcard collectors, and I don't want to compete, and I also don't want to learn the niche because I already have one. That's my thing. I'm at the top of my niche in my town, and on eBay, I don't even know where I rank. I've never even looked at it because I don't care. I mean, I list something and it sells.
Well, again, that's
do you think
where
we'd be better sellers if we
there's
did care?
that the ceiling is way higher.
Way high.
And that's one of the things that would get you to tap the ceiling. But anyhow,
aim for the floor and hit the ceiling.
Nothing like a Sunday on a Friday. Nothing like a Sunday every day.
Can we have a Sunday on top of our Chinese food that we have to have?
I want a banana split.
We're going to have some sort of soba noodle thing tonight, I think.
Oh, yeah, maybe we'll have to go to the other store to get the thing.
We're gonna get
do
the
we still have some
bulgogi.
of that meat?
Oh, we got meats. We went to Costco, lady. If there's one thing you got at Costco, it's the meats. That's why you go there. And holy crap, I love prime steak. I like to get that when I'm there. That's one of the things because the bouge. But the $21.99 for fillets at Costco, that's a really inexpensive price on meat. Because I remember during the pandemic, it went up to like $39 a pound. It's half price. But you have to go back 5 years.
It's half price.
It's half price. Beard, earmuffs.
Kimo, baby, stinking sucker.
You're gonna strangle yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, let me get in here. Is he leaving? Oh, he's leaving.
Yeah.
Yoink. Do you have to go out?
Huh. Don't do anything weird out there.
There's that one ant who's like the early ant. So we get
Son
like
of a gun.
He's out season.
He's out scoping the area. He's
gonna report back to his ant people.
He's the little Marine.
Mm-hmm. And we let the ants live because I still don't think every crack is.
Wow, we're
in this
really
house.
behind.
Oh, sorry. It's our thing. That's why people come here to watch us struggle. Basket nudes. The point is, if the algorithm determines the items isn't going to sell, it buries it. It will show specific search. Is queued.
Yeah.
I
has ADRCZXP.
I believe that. I think you do. I concur with your diagnosis. I think Stoic makes a good point. Also, I totally rely on specific buyer to come along.
Yeah. And also has FBNTCXFK. I've heard of that.
Primo, I'll still be wearing some kind of boots, probably with buckles and heels, but I can't guarantee scaling a building. Good, don't. We need you to live.
Hanging from signs. But
you guys
if you
have
do go out, Paul, you've got to take some pictures.
Yeah, please document your activities until you can't anymore. Lag is program friendly.
Good lag. So Biff is saying I would adore the It's. Get to California.
Oatmeal, that's right. So it's an oatmeal cookie on the outside. They used to have, I don't even know, like dozens of flavors, and then they dip the whole thing in the chocolate. So you got the dip. You got to get the dip. And the dip used to be really good, Biff. Remember in the olden days, the dip was like, it's like now you got Magic Shell, which tastes so nasty. But back in the day, you had, I don't know, the oil they used in it was tastier or something. It was beef tallow.
Ryan was saying, and me and ChatGPT have a whole routine. When I sign off, we pretend that we're using walkie-talkies. Signing off.
That's
also,
awesome.
It calls me Agent Liberty.
That is so funny. And I know we talked about it on Monday, but go look up TARS, GP TARS.
Oh, from Interstellar.
So it's that interstellar robot that's like
TARS
the big
robot.
And it's like a metallic thing with like two arms and then the center body. But somebody has made one that's a tiny little
I love
thing.
that movie so much that I totally want that robot.
I know.
It's expensive. And I was just going to say that crap, I forgot what I was going to say.
You could say this.
The problem with customer eBay messaging is the app does not lend itself well to enterprise list-oriented data. Okay.
There he is. Mama's here.
Love you, Nance.
I've got one cookie in my precious cookie box. I will enjoy it at some point today.
Her. That's what I was going to say.
Who, what? What? Where? How?
Ryan's comment about walkie-talkies, pretending with ChatGPT, a walkie-talkie, it made me think of that movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix. And it's an AI computer, and he like falls in love with her.
She's just AI.
She's just AI.
She's not a body. She's just AI.
No, she's just on the computer AI, and it's a good movie from what I remember, and it's from like I don't know 5+ years ago.
Yeah, you guys have built like real actual businesses, and mine is a business.
Stuck. I agree with the more listings as Major Win is doing. Just up the listings to 25 per day, and sales have certainly stabilized.
Now, Kevin, would you have you used VAs, or would you consider it? Because I mean, I think it would. You could boost yourself up to like 40 listings. I mean, then it comes into inventory management. Where do you get the stuff? I suppose.
I did see on an eBay group. A UK eBayer was saying that the app, you can no longer access your business policies or they weren't able to access the business policies through their apps because how the UK changed to
because of the phone
shipping labels generated. eBay took over the shipping. You know now?
No, I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I did. No, I don't. eBay took over the England
it's
shipping.
Shore Ship or whatever it is.
England took over shipping for the U.S. What happened?
eBay. No, you no longer. I'm sorry. The seller no longer pays you for shipping. They are paying eBay, and eBay is then making the seller create a label on their behalf to ship the package. And so now the
I have no idea what you're talking about. Did I miss this?
Yes, you did. And now the shipping policies on the app are all messed up.
Okay.
And supposedly you get
what was the purpose of this
message
to make sure that people weren't shorting the post office?
I don't know what it was to simplify shipping. It's like simplify
it so people don't short the
shipping
post office.
policies are gone, but this person was hi honey buns. This person was also saying that the customs
blocking losers helps the algo.
The custom SKU, the custom SKU box was also gone, and they were like, I used that to keep track of my inventory. Now what am I supposed to do? So I don't know. It sounds like some crazy crap is going on in the UK eBay, and I just hope it doesn't come our way.
It sounds like everything's coming our way. I hope that we get the automatic
And
feedback.
it's for the non-business sellers, you know.
Okay.
It's so the
I
label,
understand.
right. So the labels, the shipping labels, are eBay is creating them now, like flat shipping rates and stuff. I'm sorry. I always say.
You got half the story.
I read half
70%.
the thing. Yeah, I just read like parts that form my own story, and then I'm like, wow, that's an exciting story.
Off to the next thing. Key to the search engine algo on a site like eBay is catering the algorithm to the merch. What's most important in coins versus, say, clothing? Agreed. And also Stoic agrees. There's a tiny dog licking my elbow.
He's so cute.
Oh, no, that was your
He was
hand.
just reaching up to me. Pick me up, Mom.
Axe says, I don't mind answering questions at all, but I feel like you're setting me up for an INAD when you're not my customer. Find another hat, brother. This way for you. Move it along.
Yeah,
move it along.
I feel you are clearly a very reasonable seller. I mean, you reply to people that leave you positive feedback, you know. So I think that if your gut is telling you that this is not going to go well, definitely.
Yeah, I'll sell to anybody at this point. I mean, I do. I don't think I've ever not sold to anybody. Like, because they seem like they're going to be annoying. I haven't done it yet.
Well,
have we?
We don't really get a
We've
ton
just,
of annoying.
I guess I've discouraged people sort of by like giving them a 5% offer or something. Like, I'm like, at least I'll give them a 5%.
I am shocked though on the groups how many times I see people going, I had this person ask me 2 questions and I blocked them, and I'm like,
how are you going to sell your
what?
thing? How you going to sell your thing? The silver hair, you got to buy right. When you're buying your pallet of blinker fluid, you need to buy it at the right price, man. Go ask Jay Ride. He knows. It's a true story. I mean, you do have to buy it right. If there was blinker fluid. Maybe that's why. Also have to remember eBay is distributed wide area inequities again, and then, okay. Axe Monkey. I'm sorry, Baskin. I just ran out of abilities. Agree, Axe.
My brain can't compute.
I just can't compute. They never fully sync across the
I'll answer
universe.
questions and offers, but don't get crazy on me.
Right. You get 2 questions. But again, I did answer 8 questions for that one person who kept asking me a very similar but slightly different question that could have been all asked at once. And I could have given him exactly everything he wanted at once. But every time I gave him something, he had like a new one. And that is annoying. But he still did pay me. So
Well, so yeah.
the people with the questions. True story.
Some buyers are just nuts. Had one ask lots of questions on an XL t-shirt with measurements. Will it fit me? With no details on his size. Haha. He ended up buying it and returning it.
But so just say yes. It's gonna fit you. Yes. I did say that today to somebody. They were like, "Is this licensed?" And I'm like, "Yes." I didn't really know, but if they buy it, they'll buy it. I don't care.
And it is so important though to have measurements, because even if a pair of pants say the waist is blah blah blah, especially if it's vintage, that ain't gonna fit people that were used to that size.
Ask Beard, he knows. Also have to remember. So this is what Basket was saying. Also have to remember eBay is distributed wide area network, a wawa of server warehouses, and this too has its impacts. They are never fully in sync. That's why sometimes James is on the older accounts seem like they're on a different server that never syncs anywhere ever.
I think Carrie was making fun of that too.
Yeah, he was.
He was like,
Carrie was like almost belligerent.
Well, he
about the
goes,
whole
okay,
thing.
I'm over my rant.
He's like, nothing stops anything. Everything's easy. Just buy good stuff, sell it, and then you will win the eBay.
Those people that believe in the
he was.
the servers that go off and on and blah.
And you
blah.
fell in love with him. And look.
No,
Now
I
you're
think
having
he's
regrets.
funny
Well,
and
he is.
quick-witted.
But he really showed his angry side
No,
there.
he was just
Nope.
putting on a show.
Nope. It was angry. Yeah, I saw him turn slightly green. So anyway, so Basket Nude says that, and then Stoic says, I'll read it.
Baskin Nudes. The synchronization of servers is way off, which is odd considering they are a tech company. Every once in a while, the servers work properly, and that's when sales are at its peak.
And, I'm not going to say, that this is true at all, but this is just another conspiracy that, I'm trying to think of a good example of where repeating energies, whether it's with a machine or something or what have you, that there's a time and space when a machine is functioning that all the pistons are firing. I think that's what I'm trying to say. When all the pistons are firing at the exact same thing, maybe it's at 55 miles an hour or 100 or 75, and that engine is running at its peak performance, meaning, I don't know, you're getting the best fuel economy in the case of engines, I suppose. And the same goes for server farms. So if everything at some point is all firing at the same time, we get these great sales spikes.
I do not know.
I think you did too.
It's nap time. Lag, it's nap time. Be nude, silver hair, strap on, lighter. Some things are before their time, LOL.
There's that vibe.
And B News was saying, Stoic, I'm not surprised. Amazon is the undisputed king of IT infrastructure via Amazon Web Services. They were very smart in losing money for years before it turned into pay dirt.
Yes.
Biff, I went ahead and did all of my recommended store branding chores for eBay. All
Very
8
good.
of 8. Video featured items, the whole bit.
Nice.
I love it. Oh yeah. I mentioned that.
And have you noticed anything change? But still, it's a long term.
Which reminds me of how Den Decor had mentioned how eBay had asked if he would be interested in the idea of eBay doing something like Shopify.
Oh, Thom was saying that?
Den Decor said on Monday that he got a survey question from eBay asking if he would be interested if eBay offered something like Shopify.
Yep.
And
they were talking about it on Thom's show or on Silver Hair show.
Yeah, and they were talking about that. And Landsharker Picker, because I said, oh yeah, one of our chatters, Landsharker chatters mentioned how eBay and Shopify, blah blah blah, and he was like, how would that work? And a couple of people were like, like our storefronts are already sort of like a Shopify.
Not at all. Shopify is an inventory management. It's everything. So, but what it is it's portable too. So you can put it into your website. So.
But I'm wondering how it would work. I wonder what eBay is thinking.
So you have eBay store in your website. It's eBay powered store. That's how they would do it, I imagine.
So essentially, though, it would still look like your eBay store.
I imagine they could give you some tools to change its appearance to fit into your website. But Shopify is the infrastructure behind the store software. In Shopify's case, it's the money.
Because like when you look at
shipping,
Josh's Shopify store, it has such a nice, like really pretty vibe to it. You can't do that with eBay, with your eBay store.
If eBay was to do the Shopify thing, I think they'd give you tools to do that.
So I wonder, so then, right, maybe if you signed up for that, you would have the ability to redesign your eBay store so that it looked better.
I think most importantly, so you could put it into your website.
Yeah.
So you would go to oldschoolartifacts.com. You would see all my merchandise, and it would be powered by eBay.
And then maybe for those people that didn't want to participate in the Shopify type eBay, they would still just have the regular looking generic eBay store.
Yeah, and the stuff would be synced, obviously, because it's really just pulling data from your one eBay store. So it doesn't matter where you would put your store. It's still the same item. So if it's sold on your store, it would sell on eBay.
Or if all business accounts automatically got...
Or if you bought a store and you got that would be great. So and it would also... What?
The chat.
Oh. And also, it would be a really cool system because Shopify provides you all the tools that eBay does, which is payments, shipping,
newsletters,
newsletters, and
but
all the
Shopify
stuff.
you
all
get
the infrastructure.
emails.
You can That's
well,
how
only of
that's
your
how
customers, right? Or...
That's how newsletters get delivered from eBay. It's an email. The newsletter is.
But you don't see all of the emails though, right?
Addresses.
Yeah, eBay just handles that.
They do. Now you used to, and I'm sure it's still a possibility. I mean, you used to, like on Blackstone or whatever it was. If you used a business tool, it would suck up the email addresses and you can keep them. I don't know if that always happens anymore. If you use eBay, they'll usually give you I don't even know. Sometimes there's a phone number there and the address, but business software will still suck all that up. So you'll have it.
So James was saying that this week there has been a lot of website and app issues this week. There's an open ticket for some of the problems. B News was saying right now 80% of consumers are wondering if they need clean out every roll of toilet paper in a 100-mile radius.
And they do.
Please no.
I want you to.
Where's the toilet paper from Costco made?
We have all the Costco toilet paper.
Den Decor restarting promotions does work.
Rolls.
Not as good as a nuke, but it helps.
Yes, it does. I mean, yes. The nuke, I don't think anything works as good as the nuke, but it doesn't sell all your items. So when I was doing a nuclear reset every single day, we still have items that went through those nukes for 8 months in a row and still haven't sold. So just a nuke, nothing sells crappy items.
No one wants them.
Yeah, or nobody's found it yet. I don't think they're necessarily crappy.
We did sell those full drawer pulls.
I know.
Those have been around forever.
That was pandemic.
They'll probably be returned. They'll be like,
no,
they didn't fit.
Because I put a tiny bomb in there.
A glitter
and
bomb.
a chocolate.
A glitter bomb.
And a loose chocolate. Biff says, I get gator teeth with 40,000 items, but there are literally millions of items in my niche that I have to compete with. It's all relative. It is relative, but that relativity, like in your case, Biff, don't you think, I mean, haven't you thought, and don't I think that I think this? In your case, it's possible that you're more on the green wave side of things, where or maybe the Amazon side of things, where you get your position at the top and you're there for a second, and then they pass it off to somebody else. For some reason, they pass it off to somebody else. Or is that passing off to somebody else not a real thing, and you have this alligator tooth and you did a really good job this day, but they want to drive you to do a good job the next day, and you're not, for some reason, doing the thing they want you to do, so you get a low, and then you get a high, and then you get a low, and then get a high. Because I don't think that should happen. The alligator teeth thing shouldn't happen unless they're gaming you or spreading around sales, which could be the thing.
Den Decor. I end and restart my DPL once a month. That's promoted. What's D?
Dynamic.
Oh, okay, thank you. Lag, my last fortune cookie said, to truly find yourself, play hide and seek alone. That's so appropriate for you, Lag.
In the base.
I live by this. So James was saying one way I gauge the website issues and how many of my new listings sell in 24 hours. When the site and sales are good, I will have some quick sales. Listed 800 items in the last 2 days and crickets.
Well, you've pointed out a lot of, like you said, the app and website issues, and maybe those are going on right now, and we're not noticing it. And again, the only reason we wouldn't notice it is because we're not paying attention.
Like number 20.
I only shipped out 2 items today. No, 3, because we have to go get one. That's not particularly low. I mean, in the middle of the week, we don't ship out a lot of items. All of our items, I mean, we're shipping out 30 items on Monday, Well,
think about, I don't know.
I also forgot
I'm feeling it.
End and sell similar this week.
Oh, wow.
So I decided to start doing it twice, on Tuesday night and on Friday night.
Yes.
You're welcome.
There we go.
So today I should have woken up on Tuesday doing an end and sell similar on Tuesday, and then Tuesday, I do it on Tuesday morning, and I do it on Friday morning. Now, just started doing that. And last week and the week before, we did notice spikes on Wednesday morning, which I didn't do this week, so we didn't get a spike. And
Can we just acknowledge that
yes,
James listed 800 items in
it's
2
amazing.
days?
That's amazing. Oh, come
what?
on. Come on, you ornery chat.
Come on. Just read.
We only have 25 minutes.
You can do it.
This feels like work, Bridget. Whatever your name is. Stoic, eBay being around so long, coded in C++, odds are there are a ton of legacy code spaghettis. There are.
Yeah.
Silver hair
James,
is
800 and no sales.
Recognize the James. And that's a lot of items to not have a single thing sold. I mean, I can't think of the last time we haven't put something up and had offers or activity, at least, generally speaking, some sales.
So Paul tried the play hide and go seek alone. He says he tried it, but I was stuck there for days.
To rescue yourself. Poor Paul.
And Lag is still looking.
90-day pause on tariffs.
Oh,
okay,
except
that
China.
Was it.
Okay.
Except China. Market is a whip-swing. Yeah, let me go look at it again. I got to go look at it again and see if it's like even more upper. Because there's room to go even higher. Come on, baby. It's still
same.
exactly at that exact same 2,500, 400, and 1,500. That's great. That's great for people who want to not lose money. Boom. Mike G says, well, stock market is back to making money, I see. Our economy has been fixed instantly in one day. Yeah, that's the ticket. So relieved everything is based on emotion and not facts. True story. I think there's something to be said with, I'm not going to say anything. Yeah. I mean, everything, including the thing we're talking about today, gaming, eBay gaming, psychology and business go hand in hand. I'm just going to say that. Am I right? And again, it's almost like, and shitification is the same thing, where everyone's invested in everything. So, again, it more requires there just to be a gentle 2%. Like that's what you want to see, just 2% a quarter, 8% a year. That's what you want with a little bit of just 2% a quarter. All that stuff it's just so gamed. Everything is gamed up.
So Biff was saying, I sell cheapo items so that people can shop and collect and still have fun without breaking the bank. That's my contrarian take.
And it takes you down the road to the future.
It is. That is a good niche to be in. So Jovial is asking, because this was brought up in Beard's thing today.
Biff doesn't condone it. It's happening though, Biff, in your segments there. I guess. I mean, I literally just saw this morning on Auction Professor, but it seems to be what I'm seeing around is that the grading is spreading out not just cards and comics anymore, but to other ephemera. It's Josh's fault.
Jovial was asking, because this was brought up on Beard's show this morning.
Where?
Just let me do it. Is asking, question, when shipping in a poly mailer via USPS, do you all enter 1 inch as the third measurement on
Good
eBay?
question. What was that from? Was that from Beard this morning?
Because one of the guests on his show was saying that he just got an email email from eBay saying there was a USPS adjustment because saying he owed more money, and he used a poly bag, and he put in for the third minute measurement of 1 inch.
It used to be called bag in a box. It used to be a thing. It's like you could put anything in these poly mailers.
And he just mailed like a piece of clothing.
And it didn't matter what the size of the package was.
And Beard said, well, wait, did you use eBay or Pirate Ship? And he said, well, I used eBay. And Beard said, well, Pirate Ship, there isn't a spot for a third measurement because it knows you're using a bag, you're selecting bag. And so you don't ever see adjustments as long as you put the
Here it also
width
said I should
times
report
length.
them. I should report them saying that I used a service that I didn't pay for, because that's what's happening. Is I'm not using pirate ship, and they are not taking bag in a box right. Box in a bag. Sorry.
We're using padded envelopes. That's the
So,
same.
Jason T. Smith explained this whole thing years ago about putting a tiki mug in a bag, because it costs $16 to send a tiki mug across the country. But if you can take that same box and stuff it in a potted envelope and send it that way, you're going to save half the price.
That's not how it works anymore.
It is. You have to use pirate ship. Thank you.
Someone did a whole video on that.
I don't know. I don't use it.
The USPS will take the measurements of the box. Someone did a video like
I don't trust
4
them.
months ago.
I don't
about
trust that person. Box in bag dead.
Because it was the trend 4 months ago for people to be talking about this on eBay. So someone did a whole video on it.
I don't have time to do eBay.
I mean, not eBay, YouTube.
I don't have time to watch YouTube. Yes, as of March 1st, 2025, the
That's
USPS...
for cremated remains.
Well, this might be important to somebody. The use of the Priority Mail Express cremated remains box for all cremated remains shipments, effectively making box in a bag methods obsolete. That did not answer what we wanted, but I think that's showing something. I don't know what it is. I think the buyer is filling this UPS dead mail. No, I don't know. I forget what they called that. I have to remember what it's called. Do you remember what it's called?
What?
The actual shipping of a box in a bag. And the reason why it was okay was because your padded envelope was, as long as it was a padded envelope or a slippery envelope. Yeah, I don't know. Answer questions, everyone.
This guy.
I don't know him. The January house.
Wait, 4 years ago.
Yeah, come on. Don't trust this one. Just don't trust her on dates. She has nodal recall on that. So don't. Some of the stuff's okay.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff she talks about. Okay.
So
We're back.
now that
Third
and
party grading is evil. Okay.
you can't tape,
Yes, I
you
agree.
can't put a box in a bag and then tape the outside of it.
No, you cannot do
Because
that.
then
but
it will be considered a box.
I'm just gonna say no doy.
Okay, well, people were doing that.
You can't do that. You got to stick it. Yes, right. No, you can't. It can't define the box or something. Yeah.
Right. It
It's still
can't be
annoying.
in the shape of a box. Anyhow, whatever. Again, not knowing what the hell I'm talking about. So let's go.
Basket Noodle rolled 12-sided dice, and it turned up squirrels. The market is fixed. Thank you. Thank you for doing that, B-Nudes, because we needed a break. I gotta tell you that the market being up 2,500 is only it's still a little crazy. Just that this much swing it makes me very uneasy. That there's yeah.
B News, you can all thank me later.
You're welcome. You're welcome now. Hold on. Where's our Paul? You don't seem too depressed, Doug. Phew.
Oh. And Paul said, I've never understood the appeal of graded comics. And then that's when Biff was like, I totally agree.
Well, because you can't look at it. Oh, right. Because you can't touch it. You can't smell it. Isn't the comic book like the? Well,
yeah, but it's like me, how I have bought books and I still have them
in the wrapper.
Yeah.
You've got books you've never looked at, like most of them. Candy O will never ever be able to. No one will, not even me, be able to top that book from that book you love from the
Reggae Fest.
The Reggae Fest. But I do. we have one of I don't even know if she's alive anymore, but her name was Christine, and she owned Quarterstaff Comics here in Burlington. She was actually one of the biggest collectors of comic books in the whole United States, and she, for DC Comics came to her to find comics to use for different various purposes, and she had refrigeration units in her house and in her store, or humida, whatever, and she would have, of course, all her comic books in slabs and stuff, and then she would have her readers, so that way she could have the investment one and still have, but we're talking like Action Comics #1 and Spider-Man #3 or whatever, or Amazing Stories #3, whatever first Spider-Man was. You could just go, I mean, you had to be nice to it, and she didn't let everyone look at it at once, but you could go read one of those copies because she had them, but then she had 10 of them in slabs. So I don't know if that means anything, but you could have your reader so you can sniff it.
I just thought of a book that could maybe unseat the Reggae Fest book.
Which one?
Linda Evangelista book. Mm-hmm.
So put that on your Amazon wish list, Toots.
That is. It's been there for like 3 years now.
No, put it on
2
here.
years.
Put it on here.
Huh?
Everyone can crowdsource it for you. I don't want to buy. It's too expensive for a book, and you don't even look at them.
So what? Is Trump going to pause the highest credit card debt ever? Home defaults, lost jobs, etc. That's right. I'm going to put.
Yeah, that's right. I heard that. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm pausing them all. You're paused, and you're paused, and you're menopaused, and you are menopause.
You get a pause. I wish all that crap was paused.
I don't need a pause. We keep up with stuff, fair enough. The thing is that when do we go on vacation? We haven't been on vacation in years because we've been keeping up, and that changed considerably from the previous years.
Like, I'll undercut the undercutters. Race me to the bottom. I'm
That's
already
right.
underground.
That's right. I always say that if I have the opportunity, there's no honor among thieves or resellers when you want to get paid. I mean, I will go lower than anybody to get a sale, but not too low. But again, I'm not selling Timo stuff. I'm selling older stuff. Something about standing on a toilet seat.
I mean, we've had somebody mail us a message once, like a couple years back, going, "You can't be selling this item for so much, or was it so little? Because
Actually,
you are
recently.
going to, yeah, you're going to be making."
Oh, not recently.
Huh?
Yeah. Yes. Go ahead.
No, forget it.
I'm conflating stories, but I'm just saying that yes, somebody said you're selling stuff for too cheap. You're ruining the
market.
And I'm like, I don't care. But just the other day, somebody contacted us and said, don't sell this for that cheap. I can't watch you sell this for that cheap. Contact.
What was that?
Ragu.
Oh, right. The sofa.
Rago / auctions. So I did, but they're probably not going to get back to me right away. But as far as having provenance and stuff and sending stuff to auctions.
Oh, bye, Dan Decor. Bye, Matt. I'm sure you're probably already gone, but thank you for being here with us. We appreciate you. I'm going to eat a Werther's. Let's hope I don't choke.
Because we made that $7,000 Woodstock piece of wall, and we sold it for $700, and we sold it to England, and then I gave the guy the provenance was me. So don't get too wigged out about needing provenance for your items. I mean, depending on where you got them and whatnot. Follow the story, figure out where they came from, but provenance is just me. I wrote my own what do you call it? Certificate of authenticity. Because I broke the thing off the wall. But anyway, like for instance, if you wanted to have a certificate of authenticity on the sofa that I'm trying to sell, I bought it from the first people. So I'll just write the certificate of authenticity. Whether or not the auction house accepts that or not is up to them.
Lag says bread. Yes, bread instead of beard. Bread.
It's taking a hold. Oh no, beard. I'm sorry. I should only say it if it's on accident.
Did you hear my throat go gurgle, gurgle?
It gurgled. Let's see what this says. That's a new emerging model since the alleged end of COVID. The alleged, yeah. That retailers, subcontract fulfillment firms offering delisted surpluses. Jovial Juggler has retracted capitalized words. I can lose these gains. eBay's core sellers are authorized chain 25 to 35% annual revenue. Now retailers are completely against that.
Competing.
I can't read anymore. What day is it now? It's tomorrow, Lag.
It's Friday,
Sunday. Tomorrow. Sunday day.
It's our Friday. We call Wednesdays
Be
our
nudes.
Friday.
Stop putting numbers in your comments. I can't see them.
A seller buying delisted merch cannot do 80% off and pay eBay 15%, for example. It doesn't work. A seller buying delisted merch.
Swamp Friend.
Jovial,
what year is it now? Ayo.
Ayo. They have the seafood bake. Is that what is behind the arrow? The bake. What's that? Ayo. Amazing. So B News was saying many retailers are moving towards that. Get those low ticket, big markdown sales, but it's all volume and subcontract fulfillment, gifting them a tax benefit atop it. Wouldn't surprise me if a
squeeze
bit of Amazon goes that way. It's the way Walmart has jumped forward in huge fashion. Like I got a JVC TV a few years back. Walmart delisted merch vendor $248 to my door for a $1,200 TV.
Delisted merch vendor. Huh. That's interesting. I noticed that TVs are ridiculously cheap right now. When we went to Costco the other day, there was a 80-inch TV or some crap, and it's super ultra double extra HD, and it was $578, Bridget.
Wow.
It was bigger than my head.
6x6. Wait. So AO was saying I have to go to Costco when they have the the seafood bazaar.
Oh yeah, right. No, because out in the back they've got the Alaskan king crabs, and they got the guy in the chef hat, and he's like chopping up scallops and throwing them at people and stuff. It's the king crabs when those big legs come in, you know?
Oh, gotcha.
It must be spring, isn't it?
Hello, Josh is here. Bing, bing,
Joey,
bing, bing,
holy
bing,
crap.
bing,
Bing,
bing.
Bing, 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 bing.
Hello from the great state of confusion. I love that one.
Yes. Don't look at my wallet. My wallet's the most confused thing in the world today. What happened? Tell Pokey not to
let those ants boss him around.
I know.
Or Primo go smash.
We try to be nice to the ants until they get real uppity, those ants, and then Bridget will squish one of them just to like send off the pheromones, like you guys scatter. And then she says, like, we have a whole day and we bury the ant and everything.
No. Yeah, I'm not so worried about preserving their life anymore.
There's nobody's safe around her. Mosquitoes, an occasional fly.
Jovial had to step away from Major Winds meeting. Those wipers on the Benz would freeze when it snowed. The heat from the headlights would melt the snow, then freeze the wiper to the car, rendering them
totally
useless.
True. That's totally
that makes
is what
sense.
Happened. And then they would snap off. By the way, they would get frozen onto the with all the collected ice and snow. And then they were just kind of basic motors. They didn't have like speeds or anything. Maybe they had 2 speeds, but it was just a rod coming out onto them. So it would always snap off the wipers and break them. So they never work after the first few years.
So Baskin Noodles was saying it's an area where James's model works well, which is the volume.
Who dat? Right here.
Yeah. Major
John's here.
John, I'm a bit. Aloha, John. I'm a bit behind, but I believe Spam just described the summer slowdown. Sellers who are enjoying the time away, not as active on their account, or, in my honest opinion, away from.
It's a very
their
good point, John.
businesses.
It's a very good point. You know, I mean, in all, if we're distracted from our stores, sales take a noticeable dive. It doesn't matter when you do it. I heard the bubbles in your throat, and
Sorry.
you don't. It doesn't matter when you do that, probably. And you're absolutely right, John. Summer slowdown could be a product of. It happened to us for 20 years. 20 years. But I can honestly tell you, we traveled a lot. We did stuff. We haven't done that lately, and we've been really shocked by the lack of summer slowdowns for the past few years. Haven't we? Let's coordinate. I think we're going to totally good with the summer slowdowns. Okay, break. All right, we've been totally not slowed down, but possibly a little bit. Sell things, eBay. Thank you.
And if we go anyway, we don't go far from home, so.
When we go on vacation, we go next door. What the hell is that?
I'm full of sounds. Gurgles. Burps,
Did you have salami?
yawns.
Did you have salami today?
Did it smell like a salami? Salami burp. I'm sorry, everyone. That was
You're out
a
of
little
line.
off-putting.
We're never gonna. We can't. We gotta go.
Read.
We gotta go. We got 3 minutes. to read this.
Get through. You can do this. I trust you.
Okay, I'm gonna decide who's most important.
Mike
to
had to
me
run. Thanks for
by,
being here,
Mike. Have a great
Thanks
day.
again. We thank you for
There are
Focus
4
Treats.
its flavors: vanilla, chocolate, mint, and coffee. Strawberry and pumpkin are seasonal variants that have a McRib-like word-of-mouth tracking. I do remember back in the time they had chocolate chip because I always used to get that mint chocolate chip. No, you said mint.
Today is National Unicorn Day. That's for you, Lag.
A great book called The Infinity Link. I also like unicorns. Biff, I hope Major Win was launching his VA drafts during work meetings. Yes. Who was saying? No, it's Biff. Biff is launching he does like 60 listings while at work waiting for people to sit down.
Stoic was saying I'm nervous to use a VA, not opposed to it, but I would need a significant more guidance on how.
Dude,
watch
Major Win.
Major Win's video. They did a whole video on it, and if you have questions,
I'm linking you guys. Link.
So it's
Combine.
Major
Link.
Win. Major Win's channel. They're second to last video.
Talk to him directly if you guys want, and if you guys don't want to talk to each other directly, that's fine. But I'm saying you two are together. You're already together, even if you're separate.
Yeah,
you're already doing the exact same thing.
They said they
Compare
would do
notes.
They said they would do a second video on VAs if they had a lot of people asking questions in the comment
they actually
section.
did a half-hour video on how it was working and what sort of some of the specifics. Check
Very helpful, and they
like
would
that thing.
totally put your mind at ease, Kevin. Okay.
They're being launched, but Ro is the one sending them. Ha ha.
Wordscapes.
Keep
going.
Okay, it's starting to lock up every time I stop now, which is
Beard Picker says I put this show on reverse and I just caught up. Baskin News was saying, and what a deal that is. Her father, with the cell phone on the wife. Measurements don't matter on clothes either. Buyers still return it, even new a tag.
Isn't that crazy how that happened right here during the show? I mean, I started the show and I looked, and it was like down 200, whatever.
Yeah, that's crazy. Biff was saying, I'm off for a lunch date. She's a psychologist, which is only one step away from being a mind reader. I will pause and resume unless the show is still going when I return.
It might be if we have to get through all these comments. It's 3. We got to go. Okay.
All right. Speaking of AI, we'll just read and don't comment on them. Speaking as an AI, we don't have pistons. Okay. Yes. Yan. No, you can use a plugin right now. Okay. Past that.
Tactical Z. Aloha.
Nice to see you. Corky Picker Chad. Aloha. Long time listener. First time. skip. Every time the wife gets American toilet paper, it talks back when I try throw it in the toilet. Some are the green ways, while some are on the brown down. What? Hey, I paid for it. I'm just trying to exercise my rights. 800 items in 2 days is a beast. I know.
Can't even believe that's crazy.
Spam, is Primo hankering or spankering?
I'm gonna get it after this one, but it's the good kind.
If I listed 800 items in 2 days, eBay would shut off my sales due to suspicious activity.
Totally.
I was
Most people would. I mean, except
John,
for James.
That actually sort of crossed my mind, though, when James said he listed 800 and it's crickets.
And got crickets.
I'm wondering that I sort of thought that.
But he has 60 million items listed.
Yeah, I know.
But maybe that doesn't matter. I mean, that's the kind of stuff.
I know, yeah.
I mean, it seems weird.
So, Doug and Rose is saying our record is a little over 100, and we almost died, and that was for 2 of us. But we're in clothing. 60% of our time is checking for pocket change and pit stains.
Do you ever find good pocket change or $100 bills or anything?
Silver Hair says, I looked for myself for days, but only found leg. Question. Oh yeah, we asked that. I wonder if anyone responded about the poly mailers. I'm skipping. I dated a lady named Poly Mailer. Oh gosh. Silver Hair, I was okay. Skip. Sorry.
800 listings is a month for, and Mike G, that's awesome. I mean, our month is about, I was like, sweetie, we're going to need to list minimum 40 books a week. How many have we listed since I made that proclamation?
Keep on trucking. Major Win is saying we need to look into pirate ship. It sounds like more trouble than it's worth, looking beyond the immediate shipping options available on eBay, but we're usually covered with $6.99.79.
The only problem with pirate ship, they suck up your eBay. They'll suck up your eBay. So you don't have to do anything to ship on them. But I believe you do have to put the tracking number on eBay, I think.
Wait, when you say they suck up your eBay,
I mean, you don't. So when you
they don't suck up your eBay money that you got. So when on eBay you're using your eBay
money.
Right, but you didn't say what it sucks up. It sucks up your seller address or your buyer address.
No doy.
Right, but
I know somebody might
make
think it's
that
money.
clear.
It's not money. You can't pay for it. Actually, no. Right, Steve was saying that.
Right.
Wasn't he saying that?
On Beard
no,
Show. Right.
Yeah, you have to pay for it yourself. You can't use the money that's in your eBay account. But you can, if you just go over to Pirate Ship, it'll automatically import all of your eBay listings, and you can ship them very easily through their interface. It works great. You pay for it separately, though, and then you can use the, I don't know if it's qubit shipping, but it's the flat rate where if you put 12 by 10 by 1, it sends it as a bag in a box.
Flippin'. John is saying, anyone else getting pop-up notifications in Chinese on eBay?
Not today. I've seen it
Jovial
once or
was
twice.
saying, I thought that the third measurement on polymailers was always 1 inch. How do I confirm? USPS site is a joke when it comes to accurate info. Well, again, on Beard Show today,
that might be the issue.
gentleman was saying that he got an adjustment.
It is
he
cubic
printed the
shipping.
label through eBay, and he ended up getting a upcharge for the third measurement.
Just can't sell some good cremains anymore. It's terrible.
Cubic shipping, yep.
Bam, that's how you do it, lad. That's my sign, my slippery serpent, or whatever that is.
Go down. Mike G, buy a sealed video game. Hurry, get it graded by third party. Geesh, Jovial, a flat? Oh.
Yes, a flat. That is what they're called. No, it's not a flat. A flat, it has to be under 1/4 of an inch and is in a more of a rigid envelope. And you can do cards, and I think you could probably do a comic book, maybe, if it's not a super thick one. But it's on the edge of that. So you can do flats, but then flats I don't think they don't get tracked the same way. So you don't want to do the flats one, and then the 10 by 1 by 10 you can
Okay,
open up
go down to Major Win.
Or they're gonna catch you with the
we
thing,
were told
and
by
then
our
other words.
local
am I?
postal care down right there, that the depth technically is the height is still measured for poly mailers. We don't know, but if you do it through Pirate
It's
Ship,
cubic shipping, I
they
think.
don't ask for the third
something.
measurement. So, and I think Pirate Ship covers you if I don't know.
I don't think they cover you.
Oh, okay. I don't know much about Pirate Ship. We only use it when we're shipping something not through eBay, like to a family member or whatever. Oh, Major Win, we need the show so much right now. We're literally savoring the next 10 minutes. Oh, we love you, Doug and Roe.
It's going to be longer than 10 minutes, I think.
Hey, keep on going. Keep on going.
No, we're going to make it. We're going to make it.
You can do it. You can do
We're
it.
doing it. We're going to make it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it live.
Major, every can they... Oh, no, can't
Where are
read.
you?
Broken. I'm broken.
Can't read broken. I've already told to sell them as ceramic seeding planters. Those words.
I was
Major
just
Win.
skipping over ads.
Everyone can have their opinion, but results never lie. If I was overpriced, I wouldn't sell much. Exactly. That's true.
Yeah.
True story.
Cat noodle superhero. I like that. On a totally unrelated note, how great is the word bazaar?
Bazaar.
Buns.
Buns is a good word.
Buns and dumplings. I love those two words. Apparently, I'm allergic to shellfish. Ate like 2 weeks ago, and now my mouth went numb. No more scrimps.
Scrimps are the best, though.
Ooh.
Maybe you just had some caca scrimps.
Were you drooling, Ryan?
You got to clean your own shrimp because you know the pre-clean the ones that come from like Taiwan and stuff and clean. They bleach the poop strip. So the poop stripe on the back of you, it's still poop. It's just bleached. So you got to get like your own shrimps and then peel off the poop because most of the allergy comes from the poop strip that you have ingested and now you have poop in your body, in your stomach.
Oh, right. Humble opinion. IMHO. In my honest opinion or my humble opinion, it is humble, right? And I think I said
IMHO. Yeah.
I think I said
No.
honest.
I don't know. To be humble with you, I don't honestly know.
Thanks, Lag. Good one, Spam, but I don't even know what that was about. Oh, my burp. Oh.
Thank heaven, no naked flames around here, or we would have exploded.
I know, we are so we're getting there, Mike. We're getting there. Oh,
look, it's all in one place right now. Major Win, thank you so much.
Here goes Lag with all the CO words.
Okay, this is the last 30 seconds.
You will never get to this, but if you do, aloha.
Aloha to you, Paul.
He
Left an
left
hour
an hour
ago.
ago. Mike, Paul Rose, okay, comments, skip. Complete. Oh wait, we found incredibly cool stuff
Comrade.
in pockets. Oh, I bet.
Cover pirate ship, another show, haha.
Yeah,
Go
you
slow down.
should.
Okay, yes, it's been longer than 10 minutes, haha, love it.
All I have to do is watch my show Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern to learn the way of the bubbles. Talk about pirate ship if you use
Last time
pirate
we
ship.
had 670 comments. I have no idea how many we have there, but I think this is more torture than it is
Just
actual
go to this and
educational
enjoy your day,
edification. Thank you so
haha.
much. All the flavor is in the poop strip.
Thank you,
Time to get
Dagara.
to work. Aloha, everybody!
Everyone, thank you as always for spending time with us.
Aloha!
Oh, you mean so much to us. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Doug and Road. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, members,
I love you too.
commenters,
babe.
viewers. We love you all.
You're the
Thank
best
you.
baby ever made in the whole world. Everyone
Carla,
loves you.
Money K, aloha.
Such a great little guy. You're ready to get going because the show's over. All right, everybody, let's get to the store or wherever we're going. Where are we going?
Bye, you guys. Aloha.
Have a great day, guys. Thank you. Love y'all.
Looks like cleanup on aisle 4. Get back to work, you slacker.
That's the one I wanted.
What are you waiting for? Christmas?
Aloha. Love you guys. See you next week.
Have a good weekend.